Okay, we're live.
We are?
It says we are. So
I feel half dead, mate. I don't know about you. I feel dead. I'm totally dead.
Now, Wayne is the consummate professional at all times.
Same here, man.
Worth every penny.
We're all dead. All right, that's a great show. See you tomorrow. No, so tonight we're gonna do a special thing. We're gonna do a debate, but we're not gonna debate against each other. We're just gonna be debating out these topics amongst everybody because certain people have been kind enough to send us some topics to discuss. Well, we don't really know how they feel one way or another, but we're each going to explain how we feel about every single one of these topics that was sent, except the one about the Property Brothers.
What? I love the Property Brothers.
I've never watched it.
My wife sent that on Facebook, on her Facebook page. She said, "Who's your favorite property brother?"
The butch one, not the gay one.
I don't even know.
I can speak for 60 seconds on which one I prefer.
I probably know, but I.
Von Erich brothers. Let's talk about the Von Erich brothers. If we're going to talk about brothers.
Who are the Von Erich brothers?
Oh, come on. Wrestling in the 80s in Dallas?
I'm into wrestling now. I'm with the Bella twins, man. That's more my speed. Ow, my knee.
See, I told you guys could talk. Listen. All right. Well, first of all, thanks to Drinkware Design. Both my, I don't have my mug on me, so sorry, but I'm using this Cocina Bonito.
This was made by them.
Drinkware? Yeah?
Yeah, from Drinkware. Dallas Hammers glasses.
Nice.
I've got sex on the mind. I've got six tumblers like this. I've got 6 whiskey glasses and a couple of shot glasses. So tonight my drinkwaredesign.com glasses filled with beautiful vodka and cranberry juice.
Oh, lovely. Fantastic.
Cheers.
Cheers. God. Well, thank you for displaying the Drinkware Design.
We're just getting started. The best part is we're just getting started.
Thanks to the people in the chat room already. I see Ray has come and gone.
Did Ray come and go already?
Yeah, he's a bye. Good show, peeps. Gabe's here. So that's cool. Gabe, man, you should come back on the show sometime. Have some fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you could replace me on Wednesday nights with these guys because they're gonna need somebody. I'm just filling in for the evening. How funny would that be, though?
Dead meat, Gabe.
Yeah. So the scarves are in production for everybody who does not know that already. Finally, they're in production. I don't know what that means precisely, like how long it physically takes to print 50 scarves, but yeah, it's
depends if you're hand printing them or not.
I sent out the picture so you at least see that it's true. It is in production, and they'll be on its way shortly somehow. Anyway, yeah, we got some great topics to discuss. We're gonna go around the table on every single one of these, and hopefully you guys enjoy it.
No, hang on a second. You didn't say anything about having to do exercise. I'm not going around anything. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to drink my Bay Breeze, and I'm going to enjoy watching you cut Lee off at 60 seconds.
Well, that's true.
Because I've been trying to do that for the past couple of months, and it's been very, very difficult.
I want to formally protest the time limit. All right, it's a violation of my constitutional right to free speech.
It's utterly offensive.
And more free speech, and then even more free speech. That's the right.
Power Brothers.
That's what it's all about. That's what this country is about.
Let's stop, beating the Bush, the George Bush. Let's get right to it.
The road's just down there, the road from me.
That's
the George Bush. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I remember being on.
Yeah. 121.
First question is from Twitter, from @John_A_Nolan. Ring a bell, boys?
It does.
John Nolan, our buddy from Philly. Yeah, who's going to be?
I bet I know what the question is because I think is it the one that I made a comment on?
It is actually, but
Did he answer? What was his
he
idea?
did. I think did he say? I think I can't remember if it was you that responded or it was him. I don't know. Well, let's get our opinions. We'll start with you, Wayne. But who's the best player at West Ham? Who's the best West Ham player over the last 20 years? 20.
That's a tough question. There's been so many crap ones. I find it hard to think of who could actually be the best player over the last 20 years. So it is an extremely tough question. You've got so many players not to choose from, and that's the problem with this question. So I would like to take the side of the debate that John must have been out of his cotton picking mind when he asked a question like that, who the best player is. I tell you what, I'm going to say over the past 20 years. Without a shadow of a doubt, it has to be. For me, it has to be Dean Ashton. Has to be my favorite player over the last 20 years. And I'm saying Dean Ashton because we didn't really get to see what was the fruition of his career, what could have been something incredible. It's interesting nowadays that we're talking about how exciting it is to see Allaire play for the team, and that we haven't had an out and out striker since Dean Ashton. I mean, Carlton Cole, yeah, great player, love the man, and I know that somebody is definitely going to go for him. But to me, Dean Ashton, if he hadn't got that terrible injury playing for England, I think we could have seen somebody who would have been phenomenal. I think he would have been phenomenal in the England squad. He would have been even more phenomenal for West Ham United. The man had the moves. He had a sniff of the goal. He knew exactly when to turn. He knew exactly when to pass it off. He had great hold-up play. He was my favorite player without a shadow of a doubt. If you're talking the best player, although I will say I'm going to give a footnote, and I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. Who comes very, very close to Dean Ashton for being impact, as in the best player of the last 20 years? I'm going to say Payet. And I'm leaving it at that.
Good, because you went 2 minutes long. So
I
did. You love pushing the envelope. Yeah.
There's no way that was a minute.
No, that was 2.
Yeah, okay.
Like almost on the nose, really.
Okay.
But that's fine.
Yeah, we could do this like 6 minutes each time if you want to. It'd be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
We do have 27 more questions to get through, so.
Do we really?
Then forget it then.
No, we have like 13 or so.
Okay. I'll tell you what I'll do to make your life a little bit easier. I'll put the timer on my phone so I can actually know when I'm going over it. How does that
I know,
sound?
because I have the questions on my phone. I can't have the timer and the questions on my phone. So, there you go. That's beautiful. So, is that an iPhone? Is that a new iPhone?
No, is it a new one? It's an old one.
Is that a 5?
No, it's an old 6, I think.
I have a 6 too.
It's a 6. In fact, it's the third 6 I've had because they keep dying on me.
All right, Lee.
And I refuse to spend any more money on it.
Who's the best player over the last 20 years for West Ham, Lee?
Well, I would like to say Paolo Di Canio, but honestly, I'm going to go with one probably most people don't think of, and that's my first true West Ham love. That's Scott Parker. I think he was not just as a player, not just for his technical ability, but his impact, his passion, what he meant to the team. I still think if he's not injured at the end of that 2011 season, then we don't go down. I still believe that. I know he missed the last few games, and I think that made a big difference. I realize he went to Tottenham. Everybody hates him for that. I still love him. I think the total package, everything considered, Canio was spectacular but inconsistent. Payet had that one great season, but then he kind of destroyed the club after that. Ashton's career was cut short by injury, unfortunately. My answer is Scott Parker, and that's probably nobody else's answer. But I was, every time he was on the pitch, he gave everything he had, and he was a good enough player. Yes, he probably is going to say Tompkins. Technically, he could score, he could defend, he was all over the pitch. I genuinely loved it. That's it.
You went just over a minute. Holy shit.
Unbelievable. Wow. That was brilliant, mate.
I could go on, but I'm just saying.
Good job, man.
Playing by the rules. Cool. Playing by the rules. Wayne.
It's funny. When I was at school as a kid, my teachers used to say to me, you could talk a cow into its grave. That's what they used to say to me. And I don't know what they meant by that, but I knew I could talk.
My second grade teacher told me my initials were LP for long playing. She told me I could talk to a brick wall. So I did. I had a conversation with a brick wall in my second grade classroom.
I bet that was an exciting conversation, wasn't it?
It was better than a lot of conversations I've had. Better than some of them not on you.
Yeah, my mate Flubber said to me that because my big deal was with my group of friends is I would either get them into trouble or get them out of trouble, and I never used the fist to get them in or out of trouble. I always used my mouth. And he said, Wayne, he said when you were born, he says I think they injected you with a gramophone needle.
That's fantastic. All right,
That shows you how old I am.
that's really good.
Gabe, do you know what a gramophone is, Gabe? Does Gabe know what a gramophone is?
I had a record player when I was a kid, but then I'm old too, so yeah, it doesn't really matter.
I honestly do not know if this show theme is going to work for you guys. I just don't. Unless
it should
it's
be
like
tea and biscuits with Lee and Wayne.
Honest to God, unless we just say everybody send your topics and then Lee and Wayne will pick the best four.
It's just two old guys, two old men rambling.
I haven't even
got
my point in yet, and we're already 11 minutes into the show.
All right, go ahead and tell us. Go ahead and say James.
This is the new format for 2 hours. American West Ham.
No, it only takes you 2 seconds.
The question's not my favorite player. The question is who is the best West Ham player over the last 20 years, and that is Dimitri Payet, and nobody can say anything fucking different because he was the absolute best player that we had over the last 20 years. The time that he was here at that time period, what he did for us, not just what he did for us, but his talent level at that time he was wearing a West Ham shirt. There was nobody else who wore a West Ham shirt in those 20 years that played fucking better than he did.
I mean, I can't really.
That's not even 45 seconds, though.
I don't need it.
I would agree with you. I mean, that's why I put my footnote in there. It's how you define best, though, isn't it? Really, more than anything else. I mean, for me, I was defining best as most impactful over a longer period of time than just like one season. If John has asked, who's the best player that played one individual season for us?
With a minimum of 75 games or what? You know what I mean?
Well, no, but the way I look at it, though, is I mean, skill-wise, it was Payet, and I don't think it's even all that close. With all due respect to DeCanio, I don't think it's all that close. I looked at it not just in terms of skill, but also in terms of impact, in terms of leadership, in terms of how did I feel when he was on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
That season, I had never had more confidence in a player than I had in him that season.
Payet, other than the leadership fact that you just mentioned, I thought Payet had everything that you just said there. Every time that he was in the starting lineup, I thought we were going to win.
The only reason I would go with Scott Parker is because I thought he had a Noble or Kevin Nolan type personality where he could.
Yeah, true.
He was brilliant.
He could lift. He was a brilliant player.
But where did he go to, Lee?
That's not the question, though, Wayne. But come on.
No, nobody couldn't have follow-ups here. Where did he go to?
I tend to forget about him a lot because of that.
He went to Fulham to manage Fulham.
No, that's where he went to a couple of years ago, mate. Where did he go to back when we went down the tubes? Where did he go to?
He's a professional. He went with us down originally. He played for us a couple of.
He went with Michael Carrick and Jermaine Defoe, and he went with all those guys over at that.
He went. Listen, the guy's a professional footballer.
He went to the pub with Harry Redknapp. Harry said, "Come on, son. Come here. Come over to the Spurs with me." That's what he said.
Move, and I didn't like where he went, but I don't really care. I still love him. It doesn't matter to me. He was not a Paul Ince. He wasn't a Judas. I mean,
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But I hate him because it was the last shirt that I'd got. I'd only bought that shirt that bleeding year. And then he sods off to bloody Tottenham. So
if you bought his shirt the year he left, that's pretty bad luck. I have to say.
Yeah.
But I would still wear a shirt.
Next topic.
Tim's thinking, cool, these two don't have to talk a lot, don't they? You got the mute button, mate. Use it.
Yeah, he does. I know. How do you know when you've been muted? I just talk and I'll hear myself talk.
Yeah. Well, the next question really isn't a question. I guess it's just a flat out topic, and it's just 3 letters long. And it's by
Sex.
at eTubby, at eTubby3 on Twitter.
It's Tubby 3. He sounds like he should be Fat Sam's friend.
Just said VAR. Start with Lee this time.
Well, I spent all last season wishing for VAR because we lost probably 5 to 8 points due to bad calls from officials and linesmen. However, I hate it and I wish it'd go away forever. It takes away the drama from the game. I'm really, in a lot of ways, I'm almost willing to lose the points in exchange for being able to celebrate a goal and not look around for a penalty flag as if I'm watching the NFL. It delays the matches. It added like 10 minutes of injury time to everything. I think we just need better trained officials, and I hate VAR. I'm sorry, I hate it. I thought I was going to like it. I thought it would do us good. I don't want it. I don't want it around. I hate it. My initial reaction is it's going to ruin the game. Not necessary.
Wayne.
You know what? I'm in two minds about it. I really am, and I'll tell you why I'm in two minds in 54.
So yeah. Go ahead.
But wait, he can unmute himself though. You realize this, right?
I know he can.
We can all mute each other. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I can't mute you. Can I mute you?
Yeah, you can.
You totally can. Look down there. There's a little microphone on the screen. See? I can mute Tim.
You?
See?
No, because I didn't sign in. I came in on a thing.
Oh.
So I can mute you. You can mute me. Anyway.
So anyway, that VAR. I'll take my minute from. Hold on. From now, thank you. So VAR.
Bastard.
I hate it and I love it, and I'll tell you why. If I was going to watch the games live, I'd absolutely hate it, and I'd want to kill every single ref that is in that booth. Like you said, Lee, that they stunt the flow of the game. I think all it has really done is highlight exactly how little they know, and how crooked they are, and how biased they are.
And they are crooked.
And I think that has come across in way too many games at the beginning of the Premier League season to even think about dismissing that. That is awful. Now, as a supporter that stands in a pub and drinks in a pub, every time there's a goal and VAR comes on, I got to tell you, I love chanting VAR, 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 and we, because we all hate it, so we're like, but we're not going to change it, so we might as well go along with it and try and do something with it. So we try and turn it into a bit of a laugh when we're actually in the pub. So in that respect, I enjoy the fun that it's brought to the pub where we watch. But no, very average referee. I'd say very arsehole-ish referee, actually, Neil.
Well, listen. Let me just say one more quick thing. It would help if they knew how to use it. I mean, we had the Allaire penalty that wasn't called against Norwich. Go back to Champions League last season when what's his name for Spurs scored with his hand, and they just never watched the video from the right angle.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is we have VAR. It still doesn't work. So
it doesn't. It's awful.
It's used all over the world. It's been used all over the world too already, even before we got it. And you think that they haven't worked out their fucking kinks yet? No, it's just a matter of the idiots that are running the goddamn thing.
Right.
We don't see these people. Like, who's running the VAR? Like, who's in charge of the VAR? It's not the referees on the pitch. It's who are these fucking people?
I want to see them when they have a decision. I want to see them up on the screen, and I want to see what they're looking at.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. What I want to see. I want
their address, phone number, so we can harass the shit out of them if they fuck up.
Exactly.
But no. So
the problem is, again, it hasn't worked. It didn't work in Champions League. It hasn't worked for us. I mean, again,
it worked in the World Cup, mate. In the men's World Cup, it worked.
It did work in the World Cup, and we did lose to Manchester City 5-0 instead of 6-0. And to be fair, it probably rescued us a point at Brighton. It probably rescued us a point at Brighton. We probably lose 2-1 to Brighton if we don't have it. Even so, I hate that it takes away the drama. One of the things I hate about American football is the penalty flag.
Are you taking my time? Are you taking an additional 2 minutes now?
I thought you were done. Aren't you done?
I didn't go. No, you went, and then and Wayne went, and I said like two things, like tagging on to what you guys were saying. I didn't actually say my shit here.
That was all you had to say.
This fucking mess.
All
But
right.
If he took all the fucks out of it, he'd probably only go about 15
I only
seconds.
have, how about this? I'll give you another 2 fucking minutes, Lee.
No,
Just give
I
me
will
1
mute
second, because there's only one thing I have to say about this, and this I love it for the fact that, for the most part, decisions are being overturned the way they're supposed to be. Where we're seeing across the board that there are more better decisions made with VAR than not. Overall, I'm not saying it's 100% perfect, but it's a work in progress. Yay! But my problem with I have no problem with VAR. But here's the thing: as a broad supporter who decides to visit and watch a match over at the Olympic Stadium, London Stadium, whatever, I don't want to just be there for 90 minutes to 2 hours and then have to go home. I want to watch as much, I want to be there as much as I can. I mean, it's the same thing with the people at the pubs. Like, do you guys want to just get the game over with and go home? Or do you want to, have the game spread out a little bit longer now? You guys are opposed to having a longer game?
Yes.
Actually,
What?
yeah, I am. I like the fact
Yeah,
that
because part of the beauty of the game of football is the fact that it doesn't go on forever.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a beautiful 90 minutes.
Yeah.
With like 15, 20 minutes in the middle of it, so that you can take a whiz, go wash your hands, do what you need to do, have a little bit of socializing with your mates, and then go right back to the game again.
Well, that's like your opinion, man. And
I know. I like this idea for a show.
I like the fact that it's 2 hours. I agree. It's tidy. You know what you know. If you want to hang out at the pub afterward, then hang out. That's fine. Nobody.
Yeah.
We finally disagree on something, so good on you. All right. Next question is, we'll start with Wayne on this one. Should we invest in a left back, full back, which is, I think it's the same thing, really. Right back. Maybe she meant right back. Defensive midfielder or attacker when you can only sign one, say in January. So in January, basically, if you could sign just one position, what position would it be? And that's from Lena Star XXX on Twitter.
Yes.
So you want to sign an attacking defensive mid back?
Yes. That's what we need. Let's be honest. That's what we need. For me, it has to be a left back. Has to be a left back.
Give Creswell a fucking chance. Just give him one more chance.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve a chance, but I still think we need a decent left back because Cresswell's getting on in years. Masuaku, let's be honest, he's not your natural left back, even though Pellegrini has favoured him in that position. I think that a left back would do us the world of good. I would like to see a real quality left back in there. Somebody who's not piecemeal, somebody who's not been converted from another position, somebody that feels comfortable playing off the left foot, as opposed to what we have right now, which is a crapshoot every time somebody goes down, whether it be Masuaku getting a dodgy penalty which he didn't deserve, or whether it be Cresswell coming back from an injury and just not quite being ready. Or being too old. I love Cresswell. Don't get me wrong there. I've been dying for him to come back in the squad, but since the preseason and into the season, he has not delivered the goods.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
He hasn't. And at the end of the day, I can say I love the man and I wish him the best luck, and I think he's a great character. But nah,
okay.
Left back for me.
Lee, what about you?
It's either left back or right back. It's a full.
You can only choose one.
One, Lee.
No, wait a minute. No, I was going to say it's definitely at fullback. It's either left back or right back, and I have to say, I think I'm with Wayne. I do. I think I'm with Wayne. I think it's left back. In all honesty, for all the same reasons. I don't trust Masuaku as a defender consistently. I do like the way he plays going forward. I think he's a good passer. I think he's a good crosser of the ball. I think he links up well with Anderson. He's just shaky to me defensively, and I know that's still part of his job as a fullback. So I don't entirely trust him. I think it would almost have to be left back. I feel as though everywhere else on the pitch we're pretty solid. Even too deep, we're pretty solid. I think left back and right back are the two areas where we have some real a lack of depth, let's say. And if I had to choose a priority, one or the other, I know nobody likes Fredericks either, but I still think it would be left
A lot of people do like him for some fucking odd reason. But
Well, I
Last couple of games, and you look in the room, and people are saying that you have to agree. Last couple of games, Fredericks has had a couple of blinders of games.
yeah, well,
I mean, hopefully,
who's the new young guy we got it right back on the bench? There's some young guy named Zabaleta playing like he's 23 years old again.
Oh, he was fantastic.
What's up with that? You know?
yeah,
Dude, I tell you, did anybody else did your heart go up in your throat when you saw that they were going to put him out there? Mine did.
yeah,
Pretty much. But he
Because I
drank
remember-
from the fountain, I guess. Oh.
Yeah.
Everton last year. I remember Everton last season, at home against Everton when he just got torched. I mean, the whole like last 2 months of last season when he was just, he was a turnstile, or what do they call it in hockey? They say what is it, like an orange cone? You just hang around him, and that's how he was. So,
Well,
yeah.
I would have to go with attacker because we only have two, and who knows if this Ayeti guy can even do anything. We haven't seen it, and we probably won't see it unless Allaire gets hurt. Maybe in the next cup match if he comes out of his shell. But again, we've only seen him play one game, and that was against Newport County, and he did awful. So I'm very scared about that. I mean, he could be the Gorkan Torre or Marwan Shamak or one of these other guys. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could be one of these guys, and just never fulfill. So I would say striker, man. I mean, I'm happy with Cresswell, and I say give Cresswell one more match, and then I'll probably change my mind. Obviously, who knows? We'll see what happens. But I think Masuak is just fine. I think he had a fine game, with the exception of his stupid cards. He was playing fine. He played two great games. The 2 weeks before that, he played just fine. I thought he was fine. It's Fredericks that worries me. Yes, Fredericks is getting better finally. Finally, after all the bitching I've been doing, he's listening. He's getting all these people that watch our show over there in UK, knocking on his door saying, listen, man, this Tim guy overseas, man, he's really on your ass, man. You got to start playing good. He won't shut up about you. He has to rant about you every single episode. Like, you got to get off your ass. So he's doing it. So good on you, Fredericks. And listen, Fabianski, holy shit, man.
Yeah, he was tremendous.
He gave us the draw.
Well, again, Tim keeps talking shit about these guys, and then all of a sudden they start kicking ass. So
it's true. It's true.
Should keep doing it.
Look at
so yeah, striker for me. Next question is actually from Irons and Stripes. So at Irons and Stripes on Twitter. If Antonio were fit, I guess this is more like a statement. Like, you agree with me, right? It says if Antonio were fit, Yarmolenko would be coming off the bench. Agree? Wayne?
Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yarmolenko, every game he's played, even though he did score an incredible goal, looks winded.
Yeah.
He looks unfit.
Yeah.
He's one-footed. If he could turn and do something with his right foot, but every single player that comes up against him knows that he's going to turn and try and play it with his left foot. He's a one-trick pony, and he doesn't have the get up and the go and the energy, or the spontaneity that Antonio has. Antonio has got that. He doesn't play like a normal player. He's just got there's something that beats in that guy's chest that he's like, I'm just going for it, and regardless of whether it's a good move or a bad move, I'm either going to make the worst freaking mistake that you'll ever see in the world and kick the ball so far that it's going to end up in Wayne's backyard in Texas, or I'm going to do something that's quite incredible and score, and then everyone's going to be talking about my celebration for the next month. So yeah. Yarmolenko would ride the bench.
Oops.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll go next. I think he's just fine for what we need. I think that he's never been that guy that workhorse. He's the guy who knows where the net is versus looking up in the sky or looking down at the floor when he's kicking. He just knows where the goal is. He can score goals. Antonio, I mean, will give us a heart attack and then score a goal. He's super pacey, super physical. He bullies his way through things, but he's not the most technical person at all. I think with the class level that we have of Anderson, Lanzini, and Allaire, We need a Yarmolenko who is class with his feet and can actually score, and put passes in the right spots. And he plays at that Dortmund level. He doesn't play at the fucking, Bournemouth level. You know what I mean? Antonio plays at the, who the fuck is it?
Premier League.
Shrewsbury Town or whatever level, with his feet.
Better than
He's just fucking lucky, man.
That's what you need from somebody to score goals. Luck.
We don't need him to score goals. We need Allaire to score goals, and we need you know what I'm saying?
We need everyone to score goals.
Yeah, I would. I mean, listen. To me, to answer the question, yes, I think Yarmolenko would absolutely be on the bench. I would go further. I've been really disappointed with Yarmolenko. He looks tired. He doesn't look up to pace at all. He did score a fantastic goal. I mean, marginally lucky, but still, it was a great goal. Other than that, though, on the whole, I think he's had a really rough start to the season. I would go so far as to say I'd rather see Fornals get a run out in there. I might even stick Snodgrass in there just for some energy and pace because Yarmolenko looks worn out to me. Needs some time to sit. Maybe he's physically not ready to play. Maybe he's got some sort of knock we don't know about. Maybe he needs a little fire. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fire under him and take him out for a couple of matches and say, hey, you got to earn your place back, right? He just hasn't looked up to the pace to me. I wouldn't even have him in the starting 11.
Look at his highlight videos from Dortmund, or watch his watch his international appearances with Ukraine. He always looks gassed. I mean, Antonio looks fucking. You guys, I don't know if you guys just don't see it, but watch Antonio. I mean, he bullies and runs. He's super fast, but then look at him. He's like, always huffing and puffing, man. But you all right, man? You all right?
Speed to begin with. Yarma never has the speed to begin with. He has been so many times. I think
they both that's just who they are, man. I mean, I don't know. They're both always look tired.
Over and over this he's been cut out. But that's why I say listen, give Fornals a run out or stick Snodgrass. I mean, he's not the most skilled player, but you know what he's going to give you? He's going to give you effort. He's going to give you leadership. He's going to give you balls.
I agree with that, man.
Balls. I would stick.
I'd take him over both of them. Yeah, right now.
I would take him right now over both of them. Actually, I agree with you. Yeah.
You have to say yes, Wayne, because you love him. You can't say something bad about Snotty.
I love him just as much as I do Antonio.
Oh, fuck up.
Really?
All right.
I do. I find them very similar types of players, attitude-wise.
Yeah.
And to me, that's everything. It is the attitude.
So. Antonio's more goofy, but I mean, they do give it their all.
Funny.
Are you surprised that I love a goofy player?
No, I'm not. No, I don't at all. I know.
This one's from the Hollander, which is our good friend Bradley Holland from New Orleans Hammer guy. Do we stay with the 4-2-3-1, or go to a 4-1-4-1, or do we use a 4-4-2 and bring in Ayeti with Allaire? Whatever. I'll
take it.
Yeah, either of you.
I think the last game we played more of a 4-1-4-1 anyway, and I don't think it works for shit for us. I don't think it works at all. We didn't cross anything nicely into the box. Everything was square, and it was obvious. We just looked. We had no pace in the final third, and I don't think it worked for us.
Yeah.
I will agree with you about Ayeti that I'm not too sure that he's the right player for us. But then again, we've only seen him in one game.
By himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I kind of him and Allaire, maybe that would be a great partnership. I don't know. We don't know.
It's a possibility. I mean, let's face it. I mean, it's always been like Allaire and what's his face? What's his bloody name? Curly locks. Anderson. Hello.
Anderson. Oh yeah.
I mean, he's been pushing up so far that it's almost like we've played two up front anyway.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't know. I really do not know. I really do not know. I don't think I've seen anything that's blown me away this season yet, so I wouldn't know what to guess on it. And I think we played a couple of formations, and I don't think any one of them has really clicked with us yet.
Lee.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I wouldn't. I don't think Pellegrini likes two up front. I think he likes a lone striker. That's one of the reasons why Chicharito had to go. He wasn't good in that role, and it wasn't the right role for him. I'm with you. I am not sold on Ayeti at all. I mean, not at all. I think, I think we need to see him again against Oxford, whoever it is we play in the League Cup, and get this guy another run out, or maybe if we are fortunate enough in one of these upcoming matches to get ahead by a couple of goals, and we could bring him on for the last 10 or 15 minutes, give him some sort of practical match experience. I just don't think I'm confident in putting two strikers up front right now, but I kind of feel the same way. I'm not enough of a tactician to tell you we should play, the type of formation we should play. I always think of it as kind of a 4-2-3-1 sort of, with Noble and Declan in the defensive midfield, and then you have, of course, Anderson, Lanzini, and name your player here on the right, and then Aller up front, and then our back four. That seems to be the most effective formation for us. Unless we put Manchester City, in which case we could put 14 players out there, it wouldn't matter. But I don't think Pellegrini likes two up front. I wouldn't be confident in two up front right now, and I think Aller, give him enough service, and we won't need another striker. I know we didn't really light it up on Monday night, but he's off to a good start this season, and I think he can do it on his own.
Well, we have a question from. I'm not going to answer that. I mean, you guys pretty much said the same exact thing I'd say, and I don't want to keep wasting time. But basically, yeah, Ayeti. We got to see more of them. Great, and then the 4-2-3-1.
That's so technical, Tim. Ayeti.
Yeah. That's my name, Technical Tim.
Yeah.
The 4-2-3-1 seems to have worked. Like, let's make it work, and instead of fucking with it. That's what happened last year. We fucked with so much shit, like from the formation, the lineup, the whatever, the subs, the people, the bench, whatever. Everything was a mess the whole season. Oh, injury. Doesn't matter. Like it was completely just off the wall crazy. Like why is he even on the bench, or who's that starting? Like, why are those two nitwits start? What's going on? What is Pellegrini doing? Is he senile? Well, that was last season. Well, this season.
For a second there, I thought you were reading the comments in the chat room.
Oh God! All right. Well, let's. There's a good question from Instagram. Actually, it's basically asking if between two different players, if we could bring them into, like, I guess in the fantasy world, if we could bring them into our squad, who would you pick between the two? Would you pick Kevin De Bruyne, or would you pick Iniesta in his prime? Lee. To go into our current squad was the question.
Oh, man, I have no idea. I sort of hate questions like this only because, it's not going to happen, obviously. But for the sake of argument,
sorry, Mr. Chalupa on Instagram.
For the sake of argument, I'll go with Iniesta, actually. For the sake of argument, I think because he's a goal scorer, and can't hurt to have a goal scorer. As you said, we're a little thin up front. I do love Aller, but we're a little thin up front. So yeah, sure, Iniesta in his prime. Why not? We have a lot of playmakers. We don't have Kevin De Bruyne, obviously. We have Kevin De Bruyne players to me. I think if we have a weakness, it's probably I would go with Iniesta, but I just like him better. And I saw him play live one time, so that makes me.
Wayne.
I've always been a big fan of Prince Harry, and since Kevin De Bruyne looks like him, I'd go for him.
Yeah, I'd have to go.
No, in all seriousness, no, I would go him. Because I look at what he would offer the team, and I think if we could have him in his prime starting next year, I'd love to see somebody like him taking the place of Mark Noble when he's starting to take a bit of a back seat next season.
Yeah,
I really would. I'd love to see that.
I mean, that'd be a decent swap, Noble for De Bruyne.
Yeah, I'd take that too. I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Jay Logston, our Iowa Iron buddy. It's not really, well, it's kind of a question. Fuck, Mary, kill. Gold, Sullivan, Brady.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Brady, if I had a few to drink, possibly, but the rest of them, definitely not. Definitely not.
I mean, if you
How about you, Lee?
If you end up by killing 3, then I don't really care what happens. At that point, yeah. I mean, I think I would marry David Gold. I think he's a lovely man. And he's like 80 something. And he's wealthy. Yeah, I'd take that. I mean, you're looking at yourself with like a nice inheritance there after knows.
I'll have to give you the Nigel look.
Obviously, I would relish the chance to kill Sullivan, figuratively, of course, not in real life. And then Karen Brady, yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I'd need a few. Maybe just a couple. Hey, man, listen. I mean,
I like Karen Brady. I think she looks a bit of all right for an old bird.
She does. She
looks all right until you get up close. And you know what? I don't have great eyesight anyway.
I was going to say, you know what? It's yeah. She looks all right. She looks all right to me.
Karen, darling, you look beautiful tonight.
So the answer to that for me would be, Brady, Gold, Sullivan, because Gold is a sweet old man. That would be a nice, between the two, I'd marry him for his money.
He's done with sex at his age. All right, he's 80.
Gold, the last answer there.
Yeah, you just married.
That is kind of fun. But here's a really good question from Facebook. Debate whether monkeys have 2 hands and 2 feet, or 4 hands or 4 feet.
What kind of monkey? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know, because I think it depends on the kind of monkey. Now, if you're talking a spider monkey, I think a spider monkey has 4 hands. Okay. Now, if you're talking about your regular garden monkey, the sort of monkey you find just walking down the street, like you may be Ealing or something, I'd say they definitely got 2 hands and 2 feet. And if you're talking about the kind of monkey that supports Chelsea, like there's a bunch of stupid fucking monkeys that support them, then I think, and I'm not saying that in the racist way, I mean they're just like they're stupid. Yeah. Then I would just chop both their hands and their feet off, and who gives a shit?
Well, I'll just skip to the next question.
Wait. You didn't. Hang on. Wait a minute. Well, you didn't. Yeah, you guys didn't give me a chance to at least make a reference to BJ and the Bear. You guys remember BJ and the Bear, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, Greg Evigan and then
and most of all, they don't take blah 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 or whatever it was. Yeah, I love that show. Yeah,
the Bear was a great show. Then there was Any Which Way But Loose, where Clint Eastwood.
He wasn't a monkey though; he was a fucking ape. He was a chimpanzee.
Right. Well, yeah. But Any Which Way But Loose, he was an orangutan, I think. But you know what? I don't really care about the hands and feet thing. I just want to talk about famous monkeys briefly. Michael Jackson had a monkey, of course, named Bubbles.
Wait a minute. Wow.
No, he did. No,
okay.
It's true. It's well known.
I heard that Michael Jackson also monkeyed around quite a bit in the Bubbles.
It's well known. Michael, you had Bubbles. You had the Clint Eastwood monkey in those 2 movies, which I guess is really. You had BJ and the Bear. That's probably all of them that I can think of.
Does anybody back in England remember Art Link, Private Investigator Chimp? That was a show that was on over in England.
Oh, that sounds tremendous.
And it was all monkeys that they dressed up in human clothes.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, it's brilliant, dude! It's a great idea for a show.
Hey, what was his name? Art Link?
I think his name was Art Link.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what you're talking about.
Art Link, Secret Agent Chimp, or something like that. I think it was. And they all like that. They all drank cups of tea and stuff. There was a set commercials over in England as well. Tetley used to do the monkey drinking tea.
It says Lancelot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's
Tim's
fine.
taking me serious on that one. Wayne's got a great idea for a show.
Okay.
We're going to just get some monkeys and dress them
No,
as some
no,
West Ham
no,
shirts.
no. American Hammer TV show. But yeah. So, which one of the Property Brothers is hotter? Joking. This is some of the questions I got.
Oh, I have no idea.
Or what color was the dress? Blue or gold?
Oh, God. Oh Lord. That's
So, who's your favorite Jonas brother? And there's another one we got from. That's actually from our one of our co-hosts of the American Hymns Radio podcast. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Out of players that you've seen play since you started following West Ham, who would be your best 11? Start with Lee, since we'll go
Best
like
11. Blimey, that's tough.
that's
Wayne. You've been into supporter longer, Wayne. So we'll give you time to think about it. I guess fuck it. I'll go for it first. Robert Green, goalkeeper, 100%. James Tompkins. Julian Faubert.
Really?
Dude, he could play any position on the right side, man. I love people like that. Yeah, absolutely. Oh no, I'm joking, dude. Yeah, the outside backs are tough, man. Let's say Cresswell from the Bolin season. Pretty much everybody from the Bolin season. There you go, boom, done.
Yeah, that's not a good answer, actually.
Yeah. So take the goalkeeper out and put Rob Green into the Bolin season, and there you are.
Rob Green?
Love Rob Green, dude. So pissed when we didn't re-sign him, and then we signed
Juicy.
Pissed. I'm like, fucking Juicy, Jeskalainen. And then all of a sudden, I started to like Juicy because he was doing awesome. And then all of a sudden, Adrian decides to step on his toes, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy now? This prick. And then guess what happens to Adrian? The same thing he did to Juicy 3 times over. Yeah. Fucking Randall stepped on his toes. Joe Hart stepped on it. We weren't 100% sold on you. And then Fabianski comes in. That's what you get, man. That's what you get.
That's a goalkeeper's life, though.
Huh?
That's a goalkeeper's lot. That's the business.
Yeah. All right, I'm not sure I can even do this, but
I don't think I can either, man. I think
that's time 11.
I'd have to write it.
We'd have to if it was like 5-a-side or something like that, we might be able to do it. You know what I mean? But
I'd have to write it down. Okay.
Yeah, I have to like remember.
All right, so I would say I would put
Scott Parker, obviously. Carl Cole. I can do yours, Lee. Scott Parker, Cole, Payet, Arnautovic, because you got his number on your jersey too. I'll just name every one of your jerseys. That's what I'll do.
I would say Adrian in goal, honestly, but maybe eventually maybe Fabianski. But I mean Adrian in goal only because he stepped up and nailed that penalty against Everton, and that's one of my favorite moments of all time. I don't know, like Winston Reed maybe the center back. I don't know. God, who else? Who else has been really like?
We can't do it, man. It's too much.
I can.
Matthew Upson, was he that good? I don't know. Cresswell probably at fullback because again, he 3 or 4 years ago he was pretty good. God, on the other side, I have no idea. No idea. I would stick Noble in there, obviously.
Ryan.
Huh?
George McCartney.
No, I would stick Noble in there. And maybe like I would stick Noble in there. Obviously, Scotty Parker. Maybe like Etherington or somebody like that on the wing. He was a pretty good player.
Depends on the formation.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. I mean,
we don't have time to do everybody's 11s if it's going to take this long.
No,
just so you know.
It won't take long. Mine, I'm ready.
Dean Ashton up front with I don't know, with Paolo. If you go back far enough, I guess I can sort of go back that far. I'm really struggling here. I
can't do Paolo. That sucks for me.
I'd have to think about it. Well, I mean, technically that goes back a long way for me. Anyway, Wayne, you do it. You do it. You're the old guy.
Dean Ashton, Paolo Di Canio, Trevor Brooking. Everybody else, it doesn't matter a shit. And then from the back going forwards, oi, big boy, what's your name? His name is Ludo McCloskey. He comes from near Moscow. Yeah, Ludo.
Okay. That's good.
McCloskey in goal. Bobby Moore, Julian Dix. Okay, I know you hate him. Bilic. Let's see.
You were there.
Midfield. Mark Noble. John Moncur. Payet.
You got a lot to choose from, man. I got Emmanuel Pogatetz. I got Gokhan Torre.
Emmanuel's got pokey tits. Did you say?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't have much of it.
You know what? You know who's a sleeper up front? You know who's a sleeper up front? Ali Diamanti. Didn't have him for long.
Diamanti was a bloody good player, wasn't he?
Good player when we
I really enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah,
I was sad when he left.
I wish
I can do Roy Keane because I started following him in the 10-11 season. So
yeah.
Demba Ba. Ooh, Demba Ba.
Yeah. That's Tay.
Freddie Piccione.
Yeah, Freddie Piccione.
Freddie who came from Saint Etienne. That's the only reason I liked him. He was terrible for us, obviously, but he was a good player.
So was Faubert, but I love him because of his story.
Well, Faubert went to Real Madrid.
I love that. I love that.
Loan sightings of all time.
Ginge.
Oh, Ginge. That's who it is. That's
Ginge.
who it is.
Ginge Tompkins for me, man.
That's
there you go.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's Ginge and Winston Reed.
I'll take Georgie McCartney on the right, and I literally have nobody except fucking. Well, I guess Chris one left. Yeah. Everybody's gonna pick Noble. I mean, well, what about Wayne? You know no Bonds? Devonshire.
Yeah, come on, there's too many. I've been following the team for 47 years. There's too many to choose from.
Tony Conti, Frank McAvenny. I don't know.
There's too many to choose from, mate.
Ken in the chat room says Vic Watson.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, he'd certainly get a few goals, wouldn't he?
Ken knows what's up. Ken knows what's up. But wait a minute. But Ken, were you supporting West Ham when Vic Watson was there? Maybe he was because he's pretty old. But I don't know. That's because that was the parameters has to be like from the time you supported West Ham. But I do know this, and Ken will tell you this too. He'll tell you he saw Bobby Moore play. So I mean, I don't. When did you see Bobby Moore play? Are you that old?
Yeah, I'm that old, but I don't remember seeing him play. You know what I mean? I've seen him play because I know I saw the team with my granddad, but I don't remember those matches. When you're seven years of age, it's like you don't remember shit like that. I remember my granddad's cigarette ash being dropped on my head. That's all I remembered all the time.
I remember when I was
His anorak. His tan anorak. Yeah.
When I was 7, I went to see the Dallas Tornado play the California Surf in the North American Soccer League at Texas Stadium.
Drink. He said Texas.
I remember that game.
He also said PSG earlier too, didn't he? I mean,
no, that was before we went on.
Oh,
yeah, so that doesn't count.
That's what you have to do. You have to milk the cow before you get him out of the stall.
That's right. Yeah,
we have to wrap this up, but I do want to thank everyone for. I actually got to apologize to everyone who watched this tonight. I hope you had some fun. This is a work in progress. I will not be on the Wednesday night shows with them. Thank you, everyone.
It's going to get that much worse. That's what that means.
Anyway,
we should get somebody as a third every single week leader that talks as much as we do. And then we could just sit back and relax.
No, you know what? I would like for Ken to come on our show if he would be willing to do it. I don't know if he's willing to do it or not.
Ken?
If we've been talking to him, I'd like for him to come on our show because he's a good dude. A lot of history. I think he'd be great on the show.
It's going to be this type of show, but it's probably not. It'll probably change into something completely fucking different, like 180 or whatever, or 360, whatever. But basically, we're not doing the interview shows anymore on Wednesday nights. We're basically we're eliminating the redundancy of so many interview shows. Not that we're running out. We have plenty of people lined up for interviews. The deal is that we want to create some new content, and we were running out of space for new content. So we said, you know what? We're doing 5 interview shows a week. Let's take 2 or 3 of them and replace them with something fresh. So we've got 3 ideas. 2 of them are not this, obviously. They're going to start this first week of October. One of them definitely on Friday nights. I don't know what the other one's going to be on. It's either going to be Monday or Thursday nights. Anyway, long story short, this show will be with Lee and Wayne. It should be debating topics, hopefully, and they will have somebody else in my spot, past guest, someone else, who knows. But next thing you know, I guarantee you they'll end up just interviewing Ken instead of doing a debate
every week.
Every week, yeah. Yeah.
I think
we should just
an hour-long rapid fire.
Lee, it's a great excuse for us just to get together, get away from the wife and kids for an hour.
That's what I'm saying.
Fill up with some good alcohol. Get a nice guest in. It could just be us talking bullshit and drinking.
Yeah,
and everyone that watches it has to take a drink as well.
Right, it's all anyway.
And we have a secret word that one of the people has that one of the people in the chat room has to tell us when to drink.
There you go.
In the chat room.
That's all it really is anyway. Are
you fucking listening to me? God damn it.
I can't hear you because I'm talking. That's why I can't hear you.
You're both. You're. Anyway. I can't wait to get the fuck off this Wednesday night show. But we have people, the viewers in the chat room are trying to speak, and they can't be heard because
they can't be heard. They don't have a bloody microphone there in the chat room.
Anyway,
look,
the person
I can't hear him. Can you hear him, Lee? Can you hear him?
All I hear is myself. Is anybody else?
The person in charge of the chat room over there in the person in charge of the Kansas City group wants to come on the show. We've been trying to schedule with them, and they will be coming on most likely on a Wednesday. We'll figure that out. Maybe on a Thursday night. I have to be a Thursday night, I guess, because we're going to do interview shows then. Thanks to their this is so sweet. I love this. I love the silence. Lots of good shows coming up. We're going to be doing some informative shows, some Legends shows, some book club review shows, etc. And we got a lot of content coming up. We got a new podcast coming out late tonight or early tomorrow morning. A completely new podcast with Kevin from Columbus. We also have our most recent episode of the show with American Harris Radio. Hold on a second. Wayne's calling me. What's going on? What? That was Wayne. Bastard. All right. Anyway, you guys are back. So,
I'm learning to play bubbles on this thing here.
You are? Let's see it.
That's pretty good for a start.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We could have a show all about the number of things you can play bubbles on.
Yeah, you can play. This is the thing that
Michael Jackson's did. We could invite him on it.
They played with this when they were little, and I'll figure. Next week I'm going to play bubbles on this thing.
So we're still doing interview shows. It's just we're not doing as many. We're going to be creating new content. We have a new podcast, 2 new podcasts coming out tomorrow. One's brand new. The other one is just a new episode of our regular flagship show. And before we go, Lee, you have anything to say before I ask Wayne to discuss anything that he has to talk about?
No, I'm excited about the new stuff that have going on.
Working hard behind the scenes, and a lot of things are going to start changing with this network.
Yeah, no.
I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for letting my couple of mates and I do West Ham is why we drink on the show.
We loved it.
We had a blast. We had a blast.
Everybody loved it. It was great.
We're working on some stuff. We're actually going to put some research and some time into it, and I'm really excited about it. In all seriousness, it's going to be great. So.
Yeah. So October, you're going to start noticing some, changes around, and just the what do you call it? The quantity of content is not going to change. It's just the quality is going to change. Minus tonight, I said October. This isn't October yet, so we get a pass for tonight's episode. This is just a test, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a laugh or two, not an ulcer like I have. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you off the air real quick, but everybody else have a great evening, and we will see you. I'll see you tomorrow night with an interview from a guy from Massachusetts. So that'll be fun. All right. Come on, you irons.